Boom, shakalaka boom. You've tuned in to the Free Range Human Show of Choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards, coming off one of the best weekends of my life. I do not deserve it. I truly don't. Man, talk about a complete 180 from one weekend to the other. I'm almost embarrassed to talk about how good my weekend went. We'll get into that and more. We're going to hit the ground running this morning. I know I was in here tired. First off, I want to apologize for the second hour of Friday's show. Your boy hit a brick wall. I wore slap out, and I wasn't out doing anything I didn't need to do, nothing like that. I just didn't sleep Thursday night, and it caught up with me Friday morning about between 8 and 9 o'clock. And I was in here doing all I could to stay awake, yawning on the radio, so I apologize to you all for that. But that is life in the big city. It does happen sometimes. It had been a long, long, stressful week, and like I said, it caught up with me. But today, your boy had a good weekend. He got some good sleep, and we are going to burn it to the ground, as Nickelback would say, today. It's still dark outside. I was just getting used to driving to work with the sun up, and then boom, it's dark again. So quick. I hate daylight savings time. I mean, can we just pick one? Can we just pick one? Does it really need to get dark at 8 o'clock in the summer? 9 o'clock? We can get back to being dark at, 7:30, 7, something like that. Anyway, that ain't my hill to die on one way or another. I will enjoy it being dark later, because I like to go out walking, rucking, all that stuff in the afternoons. So that'll be nice. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. 769-241-1944. That is not a phone line. That is a text line. Do not answer calls from that line. If you want to call, the Mazda of Jackson phone line is 601-879-0002. Get down and see the Mazda of Jackson, folks. They're set up doing an off-site March Madness sales event right there at the outlets of Mississippi and Pearl. They got over 150 new Mazdas and quality pre-owned vehicles. I went by there and did a Facebook Live. I think it was Thursday, maybe? Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday? Anyway, yeah, Thursday. Anyhow, lots of cool stuff. Several Jeeps. They've even got a really good-looking, almost brand-new two-door soft-top Jeep out there. It's got a little lift on it, got some custom fenders, some big tires. I mean, if I hadn't just bought a Raptor last week, I was seriously looking at that Jeep thinking, man, that's a good-looking Jeep. Anyway, get by there, check them out. They got a bunch of full-size four-door trucks as well. And again, they got all the Mazdas with financing starting as low as 0.9%. Guys, that's almost free money. With prime rates right now are floating around 8% for best credit available on pre-owned vehicles. If you can't swing that, you want to get a good pre-owned, especially Mazda does these midsize and small crossover SUVs so well. Swing by and check them out today. That's Mazda of Jackson with their big off-site sales event. Like the old fairground sales. Man, you can get a good deal. I'm telling you. 12 years in the car business, you can go get you a hell of a deal on one of these off-site sales. And it's kind of fun, just to be honest with you. They got all the balloons and the wacky waving inflatable arm tube guys and all that stuff. So go by see them, Mazda Jackson. Shop them online, mazdaofjackson.com. If you want to call into the show, our phone number is 601-879-0002. I was listening to Joe Rogan and Antonio Brown coming in this morning. Oh, yeah, we're streaming worldwide in stunning 4K video. I got on my blue Cowden electric shirt this morning. My boy Marty hooked me up with a bundle of these. Man, it's a nice, soft, comfortable, good-looking shirt. Fits my guns well. I just hit him with the flex on social media there. Man, I'm going to do that again. Look at that bicep. Well, y'all better come. You better come ready. You coming at me. You come for the king, you better kill him. You come for the king, you better kill him. But I was listening to Antonio Brown on Joe Rogan this morning. It's not the longest Joe Rogan episode. I think clocks in a little under 2 hours. A little more digestible. I recommend checking it out. But anyway, they brought up something that wasn't even on my show notes here. And boy, I said Friday I I was going to take my gas off, and I'm tired of talking about Jackson, a bunch of ungrateful asses. Don't appreciate all I've done for them. But, so we got a lot to talk about Jackson this morning. I digress. I regress. I retract my statement about taking my foot off the gas about Jackson. Shout out to my boy Russell. He cornered me up at Shucker's Crawfish Bowl Saturday night. He said, "You better not quit talking about Jackson." I said, "All right, Russell, deal." Anyway, Antonio Brown, Joe Rogan, talking about marijuana and talking about should it be completely legalized. And I know it's spring break. A lot of our early morning riders aren't doing it this morning. I don't think we should have many kids listening this morning. So we're gonna talk about this kind of content earlier in the show than we normally would. So shout out to all the spring breakers out there. Shout out to the parents not having to do the school lines this morning. I talked to my buddy Corey. He's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to sit in that damn line this morning." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. My kid's 23. I ain't had to mess with the school rider line in a while." But should marijuana be made to be completely legal in all 50 states? Should it be decriminalized federally? And I'll be honest, I have waffled back and forth on this, and I'm pro medical marijuana. And I've waffled back and forth a little bit on am I pro adult use? Not recreational. I think that's a bad term for it. Adult use. And just as a freedom-loving American, and I don't want people telling me what I can and can't take. I wish they would quit attacking Kratom. I had one of our listeners introduce me to his dad Friday night at our sold-out 12 Stones concert at McBee's, by the way. We're going to talk about that. Thank you all so much. We sold out a concert. How cool is that? I was talking to one of my buddy's dads, and he's big into politics, and he was asking me, he's like, "Man, what do you know about this Kratom stuff they keep trying to ban?" I said, "Man, I take Kratom every day." I think his mind was blown because I didn't fit the demographic that they would have you thinking was a gas station heroin user. And I said, they need to leave it alone. I've watched it save too many people's lives. But anyway, I'm not going to get into a Kratom discussion, but I'm going to say this. I don't want them banning something that I use to help deal with the pain in my back and the anxiety and all that other stuff. I would like for them to leave that alone. It ain't hurting nobody. If you're taking too much Kratom and you're getting yourself sick, that's a you problem. You can remove Kratom from the shelves. They're going to find whatever the next thing is and over abuse that. Just like anything else, you can take you can take a bottle full of Tylenol and be the last Tylenol you ever take. You have to be responsible. You have to have some accountability. So anyway, whether I'm pro marijuana or not, if I'm going to stay true to the game and true to myself and true to my body, my choice, freedom, I have to support adult use marijuana. I don't have to use it. You don't have to use it. I don't think it really makes it that much more accessible. Marijuana is the easy. I could pick up my phone right now, call 10 people, and probably get half of them to drop it off here in the WYAB studio parking lot if I so chose to get some marijuana this morning, which I do not. I will not. Well, I don't know. Most of the drug dealers I know are a little smarter. They're not going to come into Madison County, and they're not going to come out here and mess with Florida PD and disrespect them like that, nor would I let them. So I had to meet them in Jackson. There's more to my story. Maybe meet them at a Jackson gas station. Not happening. Anyway, what do you think, man? I guess a question of the day. Should marijuana be completely decriminalized? Now, it would still be illegal to sell it. Understand that. Just because it's been decriminalized still doesn't mean you could legally sell it. That's like the argument I have in Knuckleheads now about the medical marijuana. Like, it is still illegal to run around with a pound of marijuana in your vehicle. I can't stand those people. Every time there's a big drug bust and the cops will display all the weed they caught and the drugs and everything. And there's always those and white people. I'm talking to y'all this morning. My white conservative friends, my white suburban friends, suburbanites, Rancantonians, Madison County folks. Y'all get into these comments, and I don't understand it. I just beat my head against the wall with some of y'all. Hey, oh, look at there. They got a little drug bust, little marijuana. It's basically legal now. This ain't nothing. Why ain't you out fighting real crime? Do you understand the amount of potential violent crime that comes from those drugs that are being transported? Do you? You got your little gas station corner dime bag selling dope boys like in Jackson and other places, selling that very weed, running around here shooting people over $20, $40 quarter bags, whatever a quarter or a dime costs nowadays. I don't know. I ain't bought weed in 20 years. And I think that is this is just me talking here. I don't know. This is the argument I would make. If marijuana is decriminalized federally and, it becomes more accessible, I still think you got to limit how and where it's sold. Maybe not limit, but yeah, limit where it's sold. But if somebody wants to walk in and buy X amount, they should be able to. But I don't think it should be just randomly available at gas stations. I think, it needs to be available at the dispensaries. I believe that. I believe that municipalities, whether I agree with it or not, they should be able to decide through their representative government, your city council or alderman, board of supervisors. If you're in the county, they should decide if they want to opt in or opt out of selling that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't like it, but I don't think somebody should be forced to sell something that they don't want to. Whatever. That's between them and their citizens. But I think if you get the drug trade out of the drug dealers' hands, I think it makes the streets a little safer. I just do. But they'll find something else to sell. That's the flip side to that. The black market, gonna black market. I hope I didn't ramble too much here this morning in this segment. I didn't have long to really vet this thought process out. I heard it on the podcast. I thought it made a good point, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. Let's take a call on the Mazda Jackson phone line. We were going to go to break, but I'll take a call. Hey, good morning. You're on there. Well, not sure why you would call and hang up, but to each their own. Let's take a break. We'll stay on schedule this morning. The Guns and Gear text line. It's a simple yes or no question, but you're welcome to give your deeper thoughts on it. Should marijuana be decriminalized federally? When we come back, we're going to dive into Jackson, Mississippi, and accountability. I know people get mad at me when I talk about race, but sometimes it is about race. And I want to understand why I'm being held to a different standard by Black Jackson than they hold themselves to. I got facts and examples to show you or to tell you when we come back. This is the Clay Edwards Show. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. We'll be right back. All right, guys, in the live stream this morning, good morning to all of y'all. Hope y'all are doing great today. We're going to put a caller on hold here real quick because I ain't taking calls during the break. I will not talk to you during the break. Will not. Let me put your chats up. Well, hold on. I want to see something. Hey, look, St. Patty's Day Parade coming up. That's right. St. Patty's Day Parade is coming up in downtown Jackson. You know you need a green FAFO shirt. You know you need it. You got to hit them with that flex. Boom, look at that. That's the back of it. Is that not the finest shirt you've ever seen? How about the front of it? Boom. FINE, fine. We even got over here on the sleeve, it just says 2025 House St. Patty's Day Parade. Just letting you know it is the limited edition 2025 version of the shirt. We did a 2024 last year with my red, white, and blue logo. You can go to my website, buyfafo.com. That's buyfafo.com. And, man, buy that shirt. You know you want it. You know you want it. Let me pull it back up one more time. Look at this thing. There's the back of it. There's the front of it. And if you go look at my Facebook page, if you're watching on Facebook this morning, I modeled it. That's right. I'm a shirt model. I set my camera on a stand, my phone on a stand, and set the timer for 10 seconds and ran back across the other side of my desk and posed front and back with pictures of it. Swing by and get it. You've got to the 14th to get your order in, so we have them in time for the 22nd. This parade is on the 22nd. So be sure to get your shirt order in today. All right, I'll be right back. I got to get ready for the next segment. Keep your comments coming in. I see all your comments coming in. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Let people know we're having a hell of a conversation here this morning on WYAB and online, wherever you're watching this. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming in stunning 4K video. If I can get my screen pulled back up. Stunning 4K video on Facebook, X, YouTube, Rumble, and we were on TikTok again this morning. I did put us back on TikTok. Look, I've had a bunch of people ask me about the Save Jackson Instagram. And if you hadn't been listening, I made a decision last week to not post anything negative for a week. And I made a decision last week to unplug from some of the toxicity of my online life. And the overwhelming majority of that toxicity came from the Save Jackson Instagram. It's a weird thing over there. The overwhelming majority of those 55,000 followers are younger black folks that don't like your boy. And they're there just to go back and forth. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. There's times that I love it. I love going back and forth and making new folks the FAFO champ. You know, if you can barely type English, you don't have a chance with me. You do not have a chance with me if you can't barely type English. So, I enjoy that, but there's also times where it just becomes too much on top of other stuff. So I deactivated both of my Instagram accounts, my personal and my professional, the Save Jackson one and my personal page, temporarily. They may be back up today. They may stay down for another week. I don't know. It's actually been kind of nice without them. You know, because then you feel like you got to feed the monster a little bit. You have to constantly give in. You know, then you get this contentious relationship with people. And that's what's happened with me and Jackson. You know, I started this whole thing out to really just to show people pictures of empty buildings and do some urban exploration. And, of course, that offended people. They started calling me a racist for pointing out there were empty buildings in Jackson. Oh, well, why don't you go open something? Well, I ran a business in Jackson for 10 years, my family for 40 prior to that. Why don't you open up something? You think you can open up something without having to tell everybody it's black owned? You think I don't know, just maybe open something? How about that? How about you try that? No, so what ended up happening was, and I guess this is important to set up my Jackson accountability conversation. So and it's so weird too, is I heard Antonio Brown and Joe Rogan talking about this with Kanye West and what Kanye's doing right now. Because some of us are just natural fighters, and I don't necessarily mean physically fighting, you know, but we're always in defense mode. It feels like, you know, we ain't scared, we ain't punks, ain't no sugar in my tank. You know, you start coming after me, especially when I know I'm right. Well, I fight back. And then what ends up happening is you're in this constant attack mode, or you're constantly being attacked. So you're in this constant fight back, fight or flight mode all the time. And it creates this contentious relationship with people. And to me, part of me feels like I'm playing a wrestling character. Like I'm the bad guy. Well, I'm a tweener. I could be a bad guy or a good guy depending upon your perspective, kind of like The Rock or Stone Cold back in the 90s. And so when they constantly come after me, well, I'm going to fight back. And I don't fight fair either. I'm going to go for the jugular every time. You start accusing me of doing stuff I know I'm not doing. Well, I may start doing some of that because I've already been accused of it. Why don't I just do it then? And that ends up happening. That ends up being what happens on that Save Jackson Instagram, and frankly the TikTok too. But seems to be more supporters versus detractors over there, depending on the video. And it's just gotten old. It really has. Because then you just feel like you're feeding this beast, and there's these expectations of, well, how many people can I piss off today? And man, at the end of the day, that ain't me. And that was the problem I was having last week, is I felt like the internet version of me and the real life version of me were becoming the same thing, and they're not. They're not the same thing. I'm not a hyper aggressive person. I don't run around looking for fights to get in, verbally or physically. That's not who I am. I am, believe it or not, I'm actually a nice person. And the overwhelming majority of people that know me, I think, would tell you the same thing. I'm not that friend that's constantly stirring the pot, trying to, start fights or any of that stuff. I'm damn sure not a racist. And when you constantly get called that, no matter what you do, no matter what you post, that some fragile, insecure, inferiority complex having individuals, mostly black in Jackson, turn everything into race. It's got to be about race. If I post something that happens to be about somebody black, they automatically assume that I'm posting it because they're black. That's just not the case. I can't help who is committing the crimes around here. My entire platform is about idiots committing crimes, for the most part. We do some good stuff too. But look, the whole FAFO wing of this platform is just that. It's about FAFO, fooling around and finding out. You can replace the F word with whichever word you so choose. It's about fooling people who fool around and find out. Now, I can't help the way the demographics lay out around here, that the overwhelming majority of the fool around and find outers happen to be black folks. And that at the core of my platform, I don't call it Save Jackson anymore. It's just called Clay Edwards. I put my name on it. I stand on business, as y'all like to say. 10 toes down. I stand on business. I put my name on it. I don't hide behind a fake name, a pseudonym, nothing. My name, I stamped it. I rubber stamped it. Clay Edwards. Etch it in stone. The ats are all still Save JXN because, well, I don't want anybody else to use it. I put a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, and beers into building that brand. Do I think Jackson can be saved? No, probably not. Probably not. You got a culture problem. Ain't no new building going to fix the culture. Ain't no new basketball court going to fix the culture. You ain't no new mayor going to fix the culture. Only God can fix what's going on in Jackson. And he has decided to look the other way for a while. So that leads us to every time I post stuff, with this contentious relationship that me and this city have, and me and the black people in this city. And again, I'm not talking about all black folks here by no stretch. I get a lot of supportive messages from a lot of black people that tell me, please, Clay, keep doing what you're doing. These idiots need to be called out. All this really came to a boil a couple of weeks ago when that young little future rocket scientist and engineer tried to shoot and kill a Flowood police officer. Well, he shot and tried to kill a Flowood police officer. His intentions were for no reason to kill this police officer, who did not have a firearm in his hand, by the way. And that guy effed around and found out. And it really upset people, particularly black folks, that I would celebrate this guy's death. I got called a racist for celebrating this guy's death. Mind you, at the time, I didn't even know if they were white or black. Now, based on the stuff that usually goes on around here, the odds of them being black are pretty high. Let's just be honest. But with that said, one of my favorite people in this world, former Madison County Deputy Brad Sullivan, calls in. He was shot in the head by a white guy. So it ain't about race. It ain't about race to me. I didn't care that the guy was black. I still don't even know what color the police officer was that got shot. And I don't care. I care about the police officer. I don't care if he was black or white. That's irrelevant. The kid being black or white, irrelevant. But for whatever reason, this got them fired up, man. This got them fired up, and they don't think you should be able to talk about it. No, he's dead. Leave it alone. No. That ain't the day and age we live in. I ain't leaving it alone. Yeah, is it a sad situation that an 18-year-old was so ate up with culture rot that he thought that was how you get out of a police stop, a traffic stop, an interaction with a cop, that he thought that trying to kill him what was the path of least resistance? Yeah, that is sad. That is tragic. That the culture has ate him up so much that he thought that was acceptable. That he thought that was his only way out of that situation. And I've talked about it a million times on this show. The media and the black for a living pulpit pimps like Al Sharpton, Chokwe Lumumba, and so many others, and again, the media have been beaten into black people's brains, especially post George Floyd, because that equaled ratings and clicks and views and all that black people are being hunted by police and they're killing black men at random on traffic stops. Now, we've had long conversations on this show about it. We've had a long conversation on this show. A lot of black people seem to think that only in their house do they have to have a sit down about how to act on a traffic stop. And I think a lot of black people were, and I mean this politely, I think a lot, especially from some of my listeners that I love, I think they really thought that that's a conversation white families don't have to have. They always say, y'all don't know what it's like to have to sit your young son down and tell him how to act on a traffic stop because the police may kill him. Shit. You don't think my parents have had to do that to me? Man, I've never forgetting till the day I die, being 17 years old. My truck, I used to have a little mini truck, a little lowrider, a little Zuzu lowrider, and I could make it backfire. Ba-boom, ba-boom. My horn didn't work, so I used my backfire as my horn. I didn't think ever thought that somebody would think I was doing a drive-by shooting. But somebody thought I was doing a drive-by shooting. And maybe I did. Maybe it was just stupid, but I was a young kid. Man, Hinds County deputies pulled me over about 27 deep one night. My windows are so dark, they're black. My mini truck, if my old mini trucking friends will understand, it was always in under construction mode. So my window rollers weren't on, my door panels weren't on the truck, so my window rollers weren't there. They got guns drawn on me at the entrance of Lake Dockery on Sidewell Road, hollering, "Get out the truck. Put your hands where we can see them." Dude, I'm 17 years old. I'm freaking out. I'm able to get my hands out somehow or another, let them see I don't have a gun. They snatched me out of that vehicle. Brian McCurley, rest in peace, Brian McCurley. We ended up becoming buddies later on. Threw me down on the damn ground, put his boot on the back of my neck, broke my big old thick herringbone. Southside had that big old herringbone on. Was probably wearing some Tommy Playa. And so I know I had on Jabot jeans. I was on the way to pick up my girlfriend, Allison, at the time. And anyway, I'll never forget that. But I almost died right there. Almost got killed by the cops right there at the entrance of Lake Dockery. Very easily could have got killed right then. I had to prove to them on the side of the road, A, I didn't have a gun, and B, that my truck would backfire. My point being that we have to have those conversations too. How to act on a traffic stop. I've been pulled over a lot more times since then. And it's real easy to not get your butt killed on a traffic stop by the cops. Again, we ain't going to rehash all that. We've done whole shows about it. Now, I was going somewhere with all this. We're going to use this to tie back into the accountability by Jacksonians and why they don't hold themselves to the same standard they hold me to when I post content of them misbehaving. We got to take a break. I ran over. We'll be right back on WYAB. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. The crap show rolls on. Hey, this segment brought to you by our good friends out at Martin's. This Sunday at Martin's Livingston. Guys, it's going to be so much fun. Madison County folks, Jackson, Rankin County folks, get your Uber or DD ready. This Sunday, they're having a big old party at Martin's Livingston. I'm excited. I'm just going to tell y'all now, if by chance there isn't a live show next Monday, don't judge. Don't judge. It's because I went to Martin's Livingston for their huge St. Patrick's Day party. They're having a crawfish bowl. I think they're even having a bit of a parade. Hold on, I got the flyer right here. I thought they had it on their Facebook page, but I got it right here. Let's see. Here we go. Yep, it's a St. Patty's Crawfish Bowl Sunday, March 16th. Let me just double check. I just got to double check and make sure that the 16th is Sunday. I know it is. This calendar, I swear. Yeah, Sunday. All right, Sunday, the 16th. You got the Kerry Hudson Trio. You got Zach Levette and T.B. Ledford. And you got Robbie Peoples. Man, I met Robbie Peoples Friday night. He was playing inside at McBee's, and I got to listen to a few of his songs as I was coming in and out. Really, really good. Robbie Peoples is great, by the way. I mean, get out there and check him out. The other one, I've seen Kerry Hudson, and I don't know. I'm not familiar with Zach Lovett and T.B. Ledford, but I can't imagine they ain't awesome. But look, man, they're having a big old crawfish bowl, St. Patty's style. Wear your green this Sunday at Martin's Livingston out in Madison County. And look, don't forget this weekend, let me pull it up here, just make sure I give you the right date. I was already on the page. I don't know why I clicked off of it. What is it? This Friday, let's see. Got it right here. This Friday at Martin's downtown, have we got any Aerosmith fans out there? Pandora's Box, the ultimate Aerosmith tribute show. And these guys look just like them. We'll be at Martin's downtown. That's the Jackson location. Tickets are available now, or of course you can always pay at the door if it's not sold out. So any Aerosmith fans, get to Martin's downtown this Friday, and crawfish bowl loving, green shirt wearing loving fools, get out to Martin's Livingston this Sunday. I'll be out there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be out there. It sounds like too much fun to miss. And get your green FAFO shirt to wear. I got some in stock, a few sizes. We printed double what our first order was, a pre-sale, so I do have some available in stock, ready to sell, and we're going to print more. Deadline to get your green FAFO shirt is the 14th. That's this Friday. You got it this week to get your shirts. And we're going to print another order and get them shipped to you in time for the parade Saturday. But hey, if you're one of the lucky ones who've already got theirs, or they get one of these I have in stock, wear it out to Livingston Sunday. BuyFAFO.com, BuyFAFO.com. And, of course, check out Martin's downtown, JXN.com, or MartinsLivingston.com. All right, got the business out the way. All right, so there was a fight. This is the accountability part of the show. There was a fight over the weekend. I guess it was over this past weekend out at 4th Avenue in downtown Jackson. Surprise, surprise, surprise. 4th Avenue back in the news. So there was a fight. A couple black girls going at it. People tag me in the video, or people send me the video, and I just repost it. I don't even think. I just said it happened in downtown Jackson. I didn't give any play-by-play. I didn't make any smart butt comments. Nothing. I just shared the video because it's a fight at a bar in Jackson. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. They come at you, boy. They big old mad at me. Some girl made a post, which I see she has now deleted because it didn't go her way. Some girl made a post. I should have screenshot the dang thing, but I shared it and gave my thoughts on it. But she said she screenshot some of the comments. People say, I don't control what people put in the comments. I don't delete any comments either. Unless they're just so egregious, I'll just block some people because they're just trying to be nasty. But she says something to the extent of, Clay Edwards, why you post these black people fighting? Did you post the video of the two white men fighting at the Mistletoe Marketplace? Well, as a matter of fact, I did. I broke that story. I was the first person to post that video. And one of the wives of one of the guys fighting even messaged me demanding I take it down. And I told her, hell to the no. I ain't taking nothing down. I ain't taking nothing down. Hell to the no. So I stood up there and I fight with the white socialites too. I stand up to them just as well. You F around, you find out, you give me fight footage, I'm going to share it. You know, I'm also the one, you short-sighted idiots, that shared the Buffalo Wild Wings brawl in Flowood that went nuclear viral. That was actually one of my family members filmed it and sent it to me. Some of my buddies, unfortunately, got arrested because of my video. But you know what? Shouldn't have been fighting in a bar. Don't know what to tell you. This sucks. Thanks for the footage. We do post videos of white people doing dumb crap too. And I'm fed slap up with the inferiority complex that these folks have, that they get so upset every time the white guy shares something that black people post. Or that black people behaving badly. I'm not posting it because it's black people. I'm posting it because it's people behaving badly. I've said it often. I wish the majority of the content and the FAFO champs that I crown were white. It would make my life exponentially easier if we could remove the race aspect from it. But here's what I say. So all I did was hit the share button. I didn't screen record this video. It was not a video somebody sent me and I posted trying to get clicks for money, which I'm not above that. All that just bought me a new Raptor this week. Shout out to the haters. All y'all's rage clicks and views. Y'all see me riding around in that Raptor. Know that you paid for it or you helped pay for it. I don't want to discount my supporters either. Thank y'all. But I want to know where that energy is at when these black content creators in Jackson, like Cheese TV and so, Lake and Pond, or there's some other guy that posts a bunch that does the hashtag Jackson is not a real place post. Why don't you put them on blast for posting all these videos of black people behaving badly? And I don't ever see them post any of white people. Why don't you hold them to the same standard you hold me to? I mean, are y'all ready to have that conversation? That the black content creators only post videos of black people too? Or overwhelming majority of videos are of black people? Are y'all ready to have that conversation? Oh, that's right. It's just because I'm white. I'm not allowed to laugh at y'all. Because you can go look at the comments too. They're awfully different in the comments under a black creator's post than under mine. I can take that same video, post it, and it's 100% I'm a racist for posting. When somebody black posts it, it's all look at these fools, LOL, ha 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 ha. It ain't that same energy. It ain't none of that. Take this down. You're making us look bad. They don't ever post any of that. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. We're on this for a while this morning. I got some national stuff too coming up in an hour too. I'm serious about this, guys. I'm fed up with it. I mean, there ain't no fixing it. There ain't no changing it, but it's awfully damn comical that these guys love to get in here and they love to bash me for sharing these videos, but they don't bash their own. Well, I just hit the share button. Why don't you say something to the people fighting out in the middle of the street in front of a bar for doing that? Which I don't look. I think it's funny. Bar fights happen. They are what they are. As long as somebody gets shot, at least they wasn't shooting, right? But you only get mad at me for sharing it. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what we do. We share people. We share jackassery. So, I think it's funny. So the random YouTuber here wants to know, what did I do in Brandon? People have been talking about you. Well, if you wasn't there, you don't know. Maybe somebody should have filmed it. Well, why did you get a new truck? I wanted one. That's why I got a new truck. That's why I got a new truck. I wanted one. Because I could afford it. I got good credit. That's why I got a new truck. Yeah. Let's read hit up some of the comments this morning. Brandy says, you have always been super nice and non-confrontational. We go way back and never seen you do anything but show everyone a good time and speak on what you know or have been told. Stay you, Clay. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you. Let's see here. Harvey says, I got to make sure I'm staying on schedule this morning. I had to pull my schedule up. All right, we got about 2 minutes. Accountability in the Jacksonian culture is a dead issue. I expect nothing more out of the average citizens than you get from its leaders. The comments by those that are under federal indictment prove that they think they were above accountability, and their voters feel the same way. Oh, that's it, man. All they say is, well, what about the time so-and-so did it? But what about so-and-so? What about Brett Favre? But what about Brett Favre? Brett Favre ain't been charged with a crime. That's what about Brett Favre. Brett Favre ain't been charged with a crime. Next. Y'all sound so stupid when y'all said, what about Brett Favre? The whataboutism in the black community is so detrimental to the black community. It's as detrimental as DEI. Because it's another way to avoid accountability and responsibility. Them eliminating these DEI programs is going to be the best thing that happened to black folks since the civil rights era. Because now, when somebody black has a really good job, a high-ranking job, nobody's going to be able to look at them and think they only got that job because they black. They're going to know they got that job because they effing earned it. Just like everybody else. And I love that. Because I hate that for my black friends that I know earned their job, that were not DEI hires. They did it the right way, the hard way. I hate that they get lumped into, did they only get it because they black? Because I don't personally know anybody that I call a friend anyway that is a DEI hire. All my black friends that have good jobs earn those. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. Running my mouth during the break. You know, I was saying, kind of finishing up my thought there. I find it very aggravating that I post a video, I share a video of some people fighting. That is what the internet is built on. I tried an experiment this week of not posting anything negative on my page. It was just me promoting that show Friday night and weather, just nothing negative. Engagement way down. And I post one fight video and somebody comments, oh, this is the most engagement he's got all week. You know, y'all just feeding right into it. You prove my point for me. That's the internet. That's what people are on the internet for. They don't want good news. They want trashy fight videos and FAFO videos. That ain't got nothing to do with Clay Edwards. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's internet culture. That's society. If it bleeds, it leads. People love that stuff, for better or for worse. They either like to criticize it or they like to laugh at it. But either way, they love it. Hold your same people to the same standard you hold me to. If you don't like me posting it, how about DM the girl that shared the video originally and ask her to take it down because it makes y'all look bad. We'll be right back. We got a whole another hour to go. All right, man. We got a few minutes during this commercial break. Let me hit y'all with a commercial break, shall we? Hey, look, guys. Obviously, when you're full of piss and vinegar like I am, at 47 years old, when you're still hitting them with that flex like that, it ain't all natural. Testosterone helps. It 100% helps. Get your free testosterone screening today if you're suffering from fatigue, decreased muscle tone, lack of energy, low libido. For the idiots in the back of the room, that's your sex drive. Brain fog or sleep disturbances. Text my name, Clay, in all caps to 601-327-8550 today. And they're going to get you scheduled for a free testosterone screening out at Men's Health in Mississippi. Hey, also, men or women, do you need to lose some weight? You having a hard time getting over the hump? Breaking some of those bad eating habits? You all heard about Ozempic. It's very expensive. Very expensive. Well, there's a compounded version, which in medical terms means kind of a generic version, so to say. It's done in a lab here and, well, around the world, but we have a local lab here that does compounded medicines and can save you a bunch of money. For example, Ozempic costs about $1,400 a month. What if I told you I could get you that same medicine in a compounded version for about $350 a month? They offer that at Men's Health in Mississippi. They have a clinic in there called New Care, which handles men and women. So, guy, if you need to lose some weight, I mean, I'm down to 235 between that and testosterone. I'm in the best shape of my life, and I ain't got no problem telling you that I cheated to get there. Well, it ain't no cheating. You still gotta work out. You still gotta eat right. I mean, it's taken 3 years. It wasn't no overnight magic pill, I can assure you. It's taken 3 years to get down from 320 to 235. But I give a lot of credit of it, especially the last little push here to drop the extra weight to the compounded semaglutide is what it's called, compounded semaglutide. But you just tell them generic Ozempic, they'll know what you're talking about. Text that same number. Instead of texting my name, text weight loss. Text weight loss to 601-327-8550. Weight loss to 601-327-8550. And look, if you got any questions about it, you want to ask, don't want to ask the doctor, just want to ask me, about some of the symptoms and some of the side effects or any of that stuff, I don't mind answering any of those for you. And I know there's going to be haters in the comments. Screw you. How about that? Screw you. Go lift some weights. So we got that out of the way. Yeah, Russell says, you're not a racist, you're a realist. And that's what I say. Not haters. Don't let the haters scare you away from getting in shape. That's what they want. That's what the government wants. They want you to stay fat and addicted to bad stuff. There ain't no problem with a little testosterone. You don't want to take semaglutide forever. There ain't no reason to. Set you a weight loss goal. If it's 20 pounds, 30 pounds, hit your goal, get off the stuff. There's no reason to continue to take it after you get off of it, after you reach your weight loss goal. But use what's out there, man. These youth rejuvenation clinics, these testosterone clinics, these are a godsend that we can be in our 40s and be as healthy as we are, our 50s and 60s and be as healthy as we are, have the ability to be. That is where science has actually done a good thing. I was going to take a break here, but let me read this real quick, and then I got to. This is from, I can't even read that name. It's on Rumble. It says, if I can recommend a book that hit on today's topic, Chop Wood, Carry Water by Joshua Metcalf. I used it to teach accountability to new soldiers. Keep up the good work. I'm going to remember that. Thank you. I'm going to write it down now. Chop Wood, Carry Water All right, got to take this quick break. Boom, shakalaka boom. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. Hope everybody is doing good this morning. We're having a fun show so far. Having a really fun show so far. Telling it like it is, man. And look, every now and then we step into the racial hornet's nest where we got to talk about black and white. But that doesn't mean you're being racist when you talk about race. And that's the problem that we've got in this country is white people for so long have avoided having a conversation about racial-based topics. And then when you do, when it becomes like this weird thing where you're not allowed to talk about it, you know it exists, but you're not allowed to say it because you're scared of being called a racist. Then when somebody finally does address the elephant in the room, oh my God, you're racist. You're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to point out the obvious. Yes, you are. We got to get back to that, guys. We got to continue to hold ourselves accountable. We also have to expect other folks to hold themselves accountable, or we hold them accountable. It doesn't really matter to me how it happens. We expect accountability from y'all. Y'all expect it from us. Period. And that's how we got to do that. We got to get back to, the old saying, like it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes the public holding other people in the public accountable in the community. And I'm being 100 with you here because that's all I know how to be. I feel like in Rankin County, for example, since that's where I live, I'll speak on that. I've lived in Jackson too up to 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah, about 4 years ago. Dang, I can't believe I've been in Rankin County that long. In Rankin County, the citizenry hold the other citizens accountable. We do that on jury duty, and we do that at the ballot box. And we do that at our homes if you decide to F around and find out and you realize that the Castle Doctrine is strongly enforced in Rankin County. And the other citizens that end up on jury duty and whatnot see it the same way. A lot of times, it don't even get past the grand jury because they're able to look at the evidence and say, bad guy effed around, bad guy found out. Now, in Jackson, and actually, let me rewind up a little bit further, back to Rankin County. Unpack it a little more, should I say. A lot of times, y'all call them Karens. See, that's another problem over in like the black communities in Jackson. If somebody sees something, says something, y'all call them Karens and racist. They saw some black people doing something and called the police. That's not a Karen. That's a concerned citizen. Again, the blackness ain't the issue. It's somebody most times. I'm not saying that some white person doesn't see somebody black that's dressed just like every gangster on the internet and on TV committing crimes. Looking like every rapper that talks about killing people and robbing people. If they see somebody dressed like that, you dress like a thug, and then you get cast type as a thug. Don't be mad at the person that thinks you look like what you were trying to look like. If you wearing a wife beater and your jeans are pulled down past your ass and you got a bunch of jewelry on and your hat kicked sideways, you're trying to look like a thug. Don't get mad when somebody thinks you're a thug. Why is that racist? That's mission accomplished. You should thank them like, that's the look I was going for, dog. Appreciate it. But no, if somebody does that, y'all call them racist. And y'all turn them into a meme on the internet, Barbecue Becky. Don't get mad when somebody assumes that you are what you're trying to look like. And if I'm running around here with a hockey mask on and a machete and somebody thinks I'm a serial killer, I probably is. Why is that weird? Why is that frowned upon? Don't look like a thug. I'm just using that as for lack of a better term, thug, drug dealer, whatever. And get mad when somebody thinks that's what you are. Call it hip-hop culture, call it hashtag fart culture, call it whatever you want. I call it rotten culture. It looks like prison culture to me. So don't get offended when people think you are what you're trying to be. So anyway, in Rankin County, when we see trash, we let folks know we see trash. A lot of times, there's a lot of see something, say something in Rankin County. People will call when they see suspicious stuff. We will, in fact, snitch. That's right. I approve it. We will, in fact, snitch over in Rankin County. If me and you ever break the law together, you better get to the courthouse before I do, because I'm snitching. I'm going to get a deal, son. I'm just telling you. Point being, I'm kind of kidding there, but point being, we don't tolerate that kind of foolishness. Yes, does stuff happen? Of course stuff happens everywhere. What happens after it happens? They always catch the bad guy in Rankin County. I mean, look, I know there ain't nobody batting 1,000. There's the guy that killed the guy at the gas station around the corner from my house 7-8 years ago before I moved out there. Killed the Indian guy, jumped on the interstate, was never seen again. So presumably that's what happened. Sometimes they get away. I get it. But generally speaking, they catch the bad guy. You know why? Because people ain't afraid to snitch. Let's move over to Jackson and have that conversation. Everybody's afraid to snitch because they think they're going to get retaliated upon. Or they just despise the police so much, they refuse to help the police. They refuse to snitch. But they'll be the same ones that would have benefited and made their community safer by snitching, by getting that trash off the streets. And that goes back to my conversation about the kid. I'm not going to call him a kid, the 18-year-old thug that got himself killed by the cops for trying to kill a cop. I'm going to say it again, because I was not wrong. And I'm not going to be bullied into pretending I was wrong because enough people were offended by it. I don't care. The streets are a safer place without that guy on them, whether he is dead or in jail. And if people in Jackson would start seeing it the same way, their communities would get exponentially safer pretty damn quick. But they're so stuck in this culture of lawlessness and glorifying sex, drugs, and everything else, violence, extreme violence, murder. I mean, they wear Jackson being the murder capital of the world as a badge of honor. They rap about it in their songs. My hood's the hardest. Come to Jackson and find out. And it's always been like that. That ain't just here recently. You know, it's okay for y'all to profit and glorify it, but for whatever reason, the rest of us, if we point it out, we're racist. Make it make sense. Let's take an early break real quick. I got to go do something. I'll be right back here on WYAB. We ain't taking our foot off the gas. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. Mazda Jackson phone line. Save your calls till I get back from the break, but 601-879-0002. Looks like I left my headlights on my truck. I got to go handle that. I'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Here live on WYAB. Online audience. The video will be back up in just a second. The computer has hit a roadblock. There we go. We're live on 103.9 FM, WYAB, streaming worldwide at Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble, and stunning 4K video. This segment brought to you by our friends out at LS Autoplex, Highway 471, right there in Flowood, Mississippi. Little Truck City, as they call it, the home of trucks. We call it Little Truck City. They specialize in four-wheel drive, four-door pickups, usually more F-150s than about anything. You're looking for a used F-150, your first stop should be LS Autoplex. Shop them online at lsautoplex.com. But, hey, they got cars and SUVs, too. They actually got some really cool stuff out there right now. I rode by Sunday, yesterday, and was looking at a few things as I was riding by, some really good-looking stuff. They got a nice blue Raptor, my favorite color, that kind of electric blue. Anyway, check it out. Shop them online, lsautoplex.com. Look, don't forget they are doing major automotive repairs now too. They can work on any vehicle, but like I keep telling y'all, they have to do so much work on F-150s, reconning them, getting them ready to go. They understand the EcoBoost and some of the issues the EcoBoost are known for that need to be handled at certain mileage. They're very familiar with that. They take care of that problem on the vehicles before they sell them. Why not let them take care of those problems that you may be having with yours instead of paying those outrageous dealership prices to get fixed? Check them out today, LS Autoplex, Flowood, Mississippi, Highway 471, lsautoplex.com. All right, let's a couple texts on the Guns of Gear text line here, 769-241-1944. I got a text from a fellow, unknown texter, and I don't think he's being egregious here or rude or anything like that, but it's kind of a lot of what about a situation. And we were talking about, cops are not just randomly out hunting black folks looking to shoot and kill them. That's just not happening. Are there accidental shootings sometimes? Does a cop make a bad decision sometimes? Does he freak out and do something? That happens too. But a lot of times that happens because the person in the vehicle is freaked out because the media has got them so piped up into thinking they're about to get shot that they almost will it into existence with their erratic behavior. I know that happened in Minnesota or Minneapolis or whatever, up there with a guy that went to go get it happened on Facebook Live. He went to go get his driver's license or wallet out of the glove box and made a quick movement, and the cop shot him. I don't remember the guy's name. That was bad. I don't think the cop had ill intentions. I think the cop freaked out too. The level of anxiety has been ratcheted up so high between police and black folks that it's willing these things into existence. It's like the law of attraction, but bad. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that. I think most of the police I talk to will tell you the same exact thing. That these traffic stops that should be quote unquote routine. There's no such thing as a routine traffic stop. There's no such thing as a routine call with police. We lost a really good cop here a couple of weeks ago on a routine domestic violence call. So there's no such thing as routine anything. That traffic stop in Flowood where the guy got killed after he shot a cop, that was just a routine traffic stop. No such thing as routine. But anyway, the guy's text says this. He goes, what about the situation that happened in Jacksonville, Florida, when the female officer shot the black guy with his own gun and he was compliant and everything, and he was shot with his own gun because she was trying to disarm him? That was bad. That was bad training. She didn't intentionally do it, though. So to me, there's a difference in unintentionally shooting somebody with their own gun or viciously killing somebody in cold blood. You know what I mean? Like, that was a really idiotic move, but I don't think her intent was, I'm shooting a black guy today. She improperly disarmed him. I mean, I think there's a big, big difference there. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it was a white female cop and I think it was a white female cop and a black guy. I get it. It doesn't help. It doesn't help the narrative at all. Or it feeds into the negative narrative anyway. So yeah, I'll give you that, but I don't think it was intentional at all. I just think it was very, very irresponsible of her. Just a little like poor training to me. But whatever, it happened. So let's read some more of your text here real quick. Early we started the show out with the conversation, should marijuana be decriminalized across the board? So we got some answers on that. I hadn't read this text yet, but it says, please keep this anonymous and do not read on air. So never mind. Never mind. Unknown texter asking about my truck. All right, this is about the marijuana. It said if it was legal, it wouldn't be as fun to smoke. We're rebels. That's from Rusty. Crazy T guy says it should be, but it won't because of Civil Rights Act. Government would have to change that if the government wanted to legalize it. I'm not sure how those two are tied in together. You'll have to fill me in on that. Unknown texter. My question would be how to regulate marijuana for people that work to make sure they aren't just doing it any time. Well, just like alcohol. Just like alcohol. You know, it's perfectly legal and you can drink off the clock, but don't show up to work high. Don't show up to work drunk. Don't show up to work over-medicated on your Xanax or your Adderall bouncing off the walls or sleeping at your desk. Don't take your Ambien during the daytime. You know, you have to figure that out. You know, pretty much that's the one thing about weed. You can't hide the smell. Even the gummies and stuff, if you sweat it, you can just smell the THC dripping out of their body. I'm deaf as can be, but one thing I got is a nose. I can smell from a mile away. And that is the one thing that would hold me back from being completely pro marijuana is that there's got to be some limitations on where it can be smoked at. I don't want to be walking down the street in downtown Brandon and smell marijuana. I don't want to sit in my car at a red light with the windows down and have that strong stench of marijuana. People walking down the street smoking. It's nasty. I don't want to smell it all the time. I mean, that would be one of my drawbacks. I think it's something, if you want to consume it at home, consume it at home. Not in your car. You know what I mean? You still can't get high and drive. I mean, I know y'all do, and I know you think it's okay, but that's still a DUI. Ask Angelique Lee. She found out that smoking marijuana is, in fact, a DUI also. Cop said when he was behind her up in Madison, said it was so loud. I ain't talking about the stereo. I'm talking about the strength of the weed. The smell was so loud that he could smell it behind her. And people were like, nah, he just pulled her over because she was black in Madison County out late. Bro, I'm telling you, I have been behind cars on the interstate and smelt weed too. You can, in fact, smell weed going down the road. It comes out of the vehicle in front of you, gets in your air vents. You 100% can smell weed going down the road. Anybody that says otherwise is lying. Lying. We got some more text. I don't know if I want to say the guy's name, but he says, no, marijuana should not be decriminalized because there are still people getting killed because of the marijuana trade in Mexico and bad drug marijuana deals everywhere, including here. Yeah, but wouldn't decriminalizing it help eliminate some of that? And wouldn't that help? Wouldn't that help with the drug, eliminate some of the marijuana coming across the border? Because if all you got to do is just walk into a store and buy it, why would you worry about meeting Pookie down on the block? I'm just asking. I mean, yeah, it costs way more. Let me pull the chats up on the screen here. It costs way more to buy it legally now. That's why so many people aren't getting their medical marijuana cards. It costs too much. The weed at the stove is expensive, from what I've told. That store-bought weed is high. Real high. Let's read some more of your texts. Jamie says, got to bounce around between two different apps, but they do. Jamie, I'll be in touch with you too about your shirt today, bro. I'm sorry. Weekend had me busy. Weekend had me busy. Unknown texter. Trump isn't decriminalizing anything. He hates drugs and dope. Yeah, but here's the thing. I think if you do it, it takes the Democrats' ability to do it off the board. I mean, we're playing poker here. 4D chess, as they like to say. Trump playing 4D chess. I think you take the ability for Democrats to run on that away, which they ran on it last time. Kamala said she was going to do it. But didn't Joe Biden say he was going to do it too? They always pander to black people. I think it's so funny. They pander to black people with this marijuana thing constantly. I know plenty of white people that smoke weed too. Why ain't y'all pandering to us? I mean, I almost think it's kind of racist. Like, you want to talk about little subtle racism, little passive aggressive racism. I think politicians pandering to black people with marijuana is kind of racist. I mean, real talk. It's just this assumption that only black people smoke weed. Like somehow that's a black thing. When did marijuana become a black thing? Like Snoop Dogg? Is that where it all kind of became a black thing? Like somehow blacks have cornered the market on smoking weed? May I introduce you to Cheech and Chong? May I introduce you to the 60s peace love movement? The hippies? I don't know how long black people have been smoking weed. I'm sure for a long time. Just like white folks and Mexicans. But my introduction to weed culture was not through black culture. For a bunch of people that like to get so mad and scream about culture vultures and people stealing their culture all the time, why anybody would want to steal it in its current state, I have no clue. But y'all stole weed culture from other people. Y'all was the culture vultures and stole weed culture from hippies and Cheech and Chong. That was not exclusively a black thing, and it still isn't. So I find it comical. I find it comical when that gets brought up a lot, that somehow only black folks would benefit from the decriminalization of marijuana. I mean, I can go to any church on a random Sunday and look down the left and look down the right of the pew and point you out a half dozen smokers sitting in church on Sunday. Marijuana is not exclusively one race or another drug, no more than alcohol is. So I just think it's funny when politicians try to just pander to black folks with that marijuana stuff. Like, no. Somebody's got to stand up and say something here. I know plenty of white potheads. Wells Fargo AMC watching on Facebook says, what about Woodstock? It says Woodstock. Exactly. I mean, I associate marijuana with hippie culture way more than I do with hip hop culture. But that's just me. Let's stay on schedule this time. We're going to take a break real quick. Online audience, I may stay on. We all read some comments. I'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Radio audience, rip the knob off. Don't go anywhere. All this talk about weed probably got some of y'all hungry. I'm going to tell you what's for lunch when we come back from the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here on WYAB, streaming worldwide at WYAB.com and in stunning 4K video on Facebook, X, YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok at Save JXN. This segment is our What's for Lunch today, and today we're going to kick it off at McBee's right there on the reservoir. Again, thank you to everybody who came out for the sold out. That's right, sold out. First show I've done in 10 years, and we sold it out. 12 Stones, Storage 24, and Burnham Road concert Friday night. We may talk about that a little bit in the show if we have time. But their lunch special, the blue plate of the day, is chicken spaghetti. I've had it 2 out of the last 4 weeks on Monday, and guys, it is so, so good. Also, if chicken spaghetti ain't your thing, don't rule out their other daily blue plate specials. These menu items are available every day, and that's hamburger steak, fried or grilled chicken breast, and country fried steak. I have had every single one of these items, and they all are phenomenal. You won't go wrong either way. They got a bunch of great sides to choose from as well. Their fried okra is phenomenal. If you like fried okra, highly recommend McBee's fried okra. All right, also, Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, all 3 great locations, Flowood, Madison, and downtown Brandon. Red beans and rice with sausage or hamburger steak is available every day. And the alternating meat of the day is chicken fried chicken with gravy or no gravy, your choice. Their sides are mashed potatoes, green beans, and potato salad. That's Burgers, Blues, Barbecue. It's only $12.50 for that meal deal, guys. So make sure you take advantage of that. That includes your drink and a cornbread roll, or cornbread or roll, and a tea. All right, our other lunch partner, Martin's. I've already told you about Martin's big party this weekend. Swing by today at either location, Livingston or downtown Brandon. The blue plate special of the day is fried or grilled pork chop. I hadn't had it grilled. I've had it fried, and it is oh so juicy. One thing Martin's does not do is overcook their meat. A lot of times people do fried pork chop or grilled chicken breast, and it's dry. Not at Martin's. Oh so juicy every bite. Fried or grilled pork chop is your blue plate of the day at Martin's. Y'all get out, support these great sponsors. We got some other ones as well that do lunch, but I'm having a hard time getting their menu loaded. But Your Pie out in Gluckstadt, it's pizza. Go get you one of your personal pans, little quick lunch specials. Boom, you're out the door. Same thing, Johnny's Pizza, right over there in Gluckstadt as well. Swing by, grab a lunch starting as low as $5.99. And the Manship down on State Street, right across from Baptist Hospital, one of the finest fine dining establishments in the entire state of Mississippi, offers a daily all fresh made blue plate starting at $15. You can't go wrong there to eat at a fine dining establishment like that for only $15. Don't stop, run to the Manship. And don't forget, every day at happy hour, their wood-fired pizzas are half price. All right, man, let's get back into it. We got to pay the bills every now and then. Got to pay the bills. Let's see here, man. We've been going pretty hard on this topic of it's not racist to point out idiots. I can't help the race of the idiot. If you don't like it, have a conversation with the idiots, not the guy spreading the news. The news ain't racist. The idiots aren't racist. It just is what it is. Quit being offended. Quit being weak. We were talking about legalizing marijuana across the board. Unknown texter says, the weed today stinks. It smells like skunk. It does, man. Can we just get back to like regular old dirt weed? Why we got to have all this supercalifragilisticexpialidocious weed? Why all the weed got to have names? Was it Cat Williams talking about weed is deaf? Man, weed is deaf. Like, no, it will make you deaf. Unknown texter on the Guns of Gear text line says, might as well make marijuana legal because people are still going to smoke it either way. Alcohol has done more damage than marijuana ever has, and that's why it should be legal. If anything, let American citizens vote on it. I couldn't agree more. Put it on the ballot. Put it on the ballot. Put abortion on the ballot, too. Oh, that's right. They took the ballot initiative away from us. They took the ballot initiative away from us because they're scared that abortion will win if they put the ballot initiative back up. And they don't want mud on their face. That's why we don't have a ballot initiative right now, is because of abortion. Now, regardless of your opinion on abortion, whether you're pro-baby murder or not, or pro-life, regardless of which side you stand on, people should get a say on it. If that's the route, if that's the way our government's set up, people should get a say on it. I think we should vote on it. 100%. I don't think you should eliminate the ballot initiative and not allow us to do everything else that we could do with the ballot initiative. You've taken that off the table for everybody because you're worried that abortion would end up legal in Mississippi. Now, I'm pro-life. My position has evolved a little bit on it. But at the end of the day, if I could walk in and vote, I would vote no to abortion. Even though you could probably convince me there may be some circumstances where it would possibly be the better situation, but that ain't my decision to make. That's God's. But if I got to go vote, I would vote no on abortion. And I believe the majority of Mississippians would as well. You know, we always hear, well, there'll be all this dark money coming in, all this outside money coming in. So? Let them come in and spend some money. I'll take some of their money. Let them come in and spend it. I don't think they'll use their fear tactics. You don't think right-wing Christian organizations, pro-life organizations do the same thing? You know, fight fire with fire. Fight money with money. Throw good money at bad money. We need our ballot initiative back. I believe that, not to get on an abortion this morning, I don't want to do that. Bring our ballot initiative back. And if we got to fight abortion, we just got to fight abortion. But we shouldn't be punishing every other initiative because our leadership down there at the Capitol is scared that they may all actually have to run on abortion and that become a topic. See, it gets real easy for them to not have to run on this. I think that's a big part of it, right? Because once it turns into an initiative, people are going to want to know their stance on this stuff too. You know, some of these so-called Republicans down there who are just Democrats pretending to be Republicans because they can't win as Democrats, they're going to have to show their true colors. They don't want to do that. You know, I know where my reps stand on it in the House and the Senate. And I support them. Fred Shanks, Josh Harkins. You know, so anyway. Yeah, marijuana should be put up to vote. I don't want my representative voting on it for me. I want to vote on it. And I would probably vote yes. If it came down to it, depending on the way the law is written up, you know, public consumption, where it can be smoked or whatever, how it can be, you know, I need to see the details of the law. But it should be. But if it's decriminalized federally, it's going to be real hard to enforce local laws on it. I mean, I just think that it eliminates. I don't think the police don't want more laws on the books. I don't think. I don't know. I don't want to speak for cops here. I'm sure they would much prefer to quit having to mess with marijuana bust. I mean, I think that's why they decriminalized X amount of it in Jackson. I mean, you could stay busy all day just busting dime bag dope boys. You know, it's just it's keeping the legal system bogged up with BS cases on marijuana. Again, these are just my opinions. I don't know this to be fact. I'm just assuming here. You know, I think you could get back to, really focusing on other crimes, other stuff. Now, I'm not saying that means let the guy trafficking 20 pounds continue to do that. Because clearly cartel type stuff there. But Pookie on the corner with a quarter bag busted down into some dimes, I ain't really worried about Pookie. Not his marijuana. I'm worried about Pookie being a felon with a firearm more so than I am Pookie being a felon with a quarter bag. Busting down blunts and them razors, Jack. Man, I did so much show prep for hour 2, and we did none of it. I had company at the house last night, and I sat over at my desk for an hour doing show prep while she sat on the couch taking a nap. I'm glad she took a nap because I was a bad host last night having to do show prep while I had company. Things that we was going to talk about, I guess we always got tomorrow. I don't have a guest tomorrow. I don't have any guests lined up this week. I think Sean's back in town. We'll have Sean on here. I guess what we'll do, kind of land the plane here, is because the last segment, y'all know, is always a short one. Friday night, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Friday night, we did 12 Stones, their first time in Jackson in 8 years. They've been broke up. We did 12 Stones out at McBee's with special guest Storage 24 and Burnham Road. And guys, first show that I've done as a promoter, and you know what that means is I was the one that paid for everything and made sure that people put butts in seats or part of it. I was the facilitator of the whole show. It was a Clay Edwards production. And we sold it out. Now, I got in the show a little deeper than I needed to be, so I broke even, which that's fine. It was fun. It was a good look. It was a rock and roll family reunion of sorts. But I just want to thank everybody that came out. A lot of you listeners showed up, and I worked the door. And so many of you, and I shout out to my friend Leslie and her husband Ian for helping work the door too and helping sell some shirts and stuff. And shout out to Serious Southern Entertainment, Brian Barlow, his dad Bruce. They came out, they provided the production, and McBee's, the staff, just everybody. Such a great job. But to you guys, the audience that showed up, and I had a rough couple weeks, man. Ever since that guy got killed in Flowood, trying to kill the cops, I've been under attack. I mean, it's gotten way out of hand. There's a lot of stuff that's happened I ain't told y'all about. They've drugged my family into this. It's just gotten bad, And for so many of y'all to walk up to me and shake my hand and tell me, don't stop, keep doing what you're doing. We need you. You're important. I don't need admiration. I don't need any of that. But after the last few weeks, it was damn sure appreciated. Because I was beginning to think that I had more haters than I had supporters. Because support can be very quiet sometimes. Because I don't need the attaboys. That's not what I do this for. But man, the attaboys versus the I hope you die boys were getting out of whack. And it got back in check over the weekend. Between Friday night at that event, so many people coming by shaking my hand and saying they were there. Some of them said, I'm just here to support you. And so many others were there for the band. Thank you for coming. But it was great to know that. And then I went out to McBee's Saturday night and for their crawfish bowl. A really good band was playing I wanted to see. Get Sideways. They played the Brandon Parade Friday night last week. So they were so good I wanted to see them again. And met so many people that said the same thing. Hey, thank you for what you're doing. I was at Cypress, Cameron's Garage out at Cypress for a little while Saturday afternoon. Same thing. Felt good to hear that. I ain't going to lie to you. So I appreciate it. Let's take our last break, land the plane for the day. We are going to do more rock concerts, or more concerts, period, by the way. We are back in the concert business. Going to start looking at what the next event is this week, and we'll keep you posted. Let's come back, land the plane. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show as we land the plane for the day. Just got some breaking news. Hank Williams Jr. with the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band coming to the Brandon Amphitheater on June 6th. I think that's a Friday night. Hank only does weekend shows now. So, he like I said, he only plays on the weekends. Let's see, I got my calendar pulled up here. June 6th, a Friday night. Hank Jr. in Rankin County. All my rowdy friends are coming to Rankin County on a Friday night. Going to be a good time. All right, guys, it's been a fun show today. Again, one of those shows I didn't have to do a nickel's worth of show prep for because I didn't use any of it, but it'll still be relevant tomorrow. I want to LOL at Jasmine Crockett and why the Democrats keep rolling their dumbest out there and putting a magnifying glass, or as they like to say, amplifying voices. Why do they keep amplifying the dumbest voices? I hope they keep doing it. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., same bat time, same bat channel. Chip Matthews Show next.